Right, hello everyone and welcome back to another video here on the JB Official's YouTube channel, where I'm actually here on the PlayStation 4 because in this video I'm actually going to be giving you an overview of Planet Coaster Console Edition. Now, I actually bought this game back in June, so as a little early birthday present. So here I'm actually here in Planet Coaster. And of course, we're at a new park. There's no rides, no coasters or anything just as yet, because of course this is just a little introduction, you know, just to get used to the game, used to controls, all the different options and that. So yeah, I think first of all what we're going to do is we're actually going to have a look at all the different categories. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 different categories we can actually just see by pressing the L1 button or R1. So if we press R1, we'll go straight to coasters. So what we'll do, it will bring you up the pre-built coasters. So the coasters are actually all done for you, and then you can choose any coaster you want. But sometimes I actually like to build the coasters myself. So to do that, we can actually then press the R3 button on the joystick, and then of course it will then take you to all the different coasters. For example, we've actually got a coaster that's just appeared on the screen. It tells you the name of the coaster. It then tells you a little description with an image, and then on the right hand side we then got a few little statistics. So this one has a chain lift, cannot invert, and then of course a target audience as well, along with a few ride statistics as well. But of course, if you don't want to if you want to find your coaster even quicker, you can actually then press R1 to go into, sorry, is it yeah, it's R1, yeah. So it will then take you to different categories. So here we've got standard. So these are like mainly your steel coasters, if it's a standard one. And then of course you've got all different types of coasters you can choose from. The ones that are highlighted means that you have to buy the packs for them. I'll probably buy the packs later in the future. And over here we've got wooden and hybrid coasters, which are called tracks are made of wood. As you can see here, you've got lots of different choices you can do. We've also got launch roller coasters. These are the really fast roller coasters that just send you on your way on a launch pad. And then of course we have some suspended coasters, which the train is actually, well the wheels are actually on the track above, and then of course the seats are below. So again, and you also got some, yeah, so these are suspended coasters. You got wing coasters, which means that that the seats are on the side of the track. And then of course you've got some special coasters, which are a different variety of different family and thrilling coasters. Onto the track rides now. So again, we'll go through them one. So first of all, we've got transport rides. So these are like your buses and trains, which you've got here, along with a few little boat rides and a monorail. Powered rides, so these are like mainly for your dark rides or outdoor rides that you want to do. So you've got a little vintage car, you've got a cat, a Christmas sleigh, and a go-kart. Water rides, again, log flumes and boats, and a rapids. Interactive rides, so these are like your shooting dark rides, just there, so you've only got a couple there. And of course you've got a few special rides which are like mainly ghost trains and other different rides. There we go. Moving on to the rides. So here you've got some gentle rides, so you've got like little Ferris wheels and carousels and all the old vintage rides, which you can just see here. Thrill rides, so these are like more, so they're mainly like more for thrill riders. So you've got a few family and other rides. Your extreme rides, these are like the really extreme ones, the ones that mainly go upside down, to create even more thrills, like drop towers, and we've got like a little super leap just over there as well. So moving on to the facilities, so we'll just go R3 for this one. So you've got loads of different, for facilities you've got loads of different shops. So you've got your food shops, you've got drinks, and of course you've got your gift shops where people can actually buy balloons and gifts and hat stalls and that. Services, you've got your information booths, you've got your toilets, ATMs where people can get money out, staff management, so that's like your staff building, so that's where the staff will go if they need a break when they're doing the stalls. Park entrances is where you it's where everyone comes through. You want a nice little building for people to come through. First aid, again, so this is where people go if they feel sick on the rides, and then of course you've got a few other ones as well. Leisure, these are like you've got your hotels where you can actually build them in your park and people can stay for a little bit. Your amusement, so you have like claw machines, well they're mainly claw machines, and a few other little arcades as well. And then of course you've then got your restaurants as well. Right then, so moving on to the scenery, so this is like your buildings and props. So you've got a variety of different plants in this section, from trees to bushes and to flowers. Props, so these are like all your lights and animatronics, and so you've got lots of lights to choose from. You've got animatronics, which are like the machinery that you see on the dark rides. Sign and advertising for your stalls and for the rides and that. Statues and centerpieces, so these can be used for like fountains or other different scenery for your park. You've also got some art shapes which you can actually build lots of different things with. You've got fences, again for your queue lines, and of course a variety of different other props as well. So there's loads of different categories you can choose from. Special effects, so these are mainly like fireworks and electricity and water. So there's a whole variety of different effects to use. Facilities were already covered. Part of extras, so these are like your benches and your bins and security cameras and seating areas and that. And then of course your building is for building your coaster stations and a variety of different stalls and that. So you've got your walls, the framework, decorations, arches and roofs. So moving on to the staff now, so we've got lots of different staff over here. So first of all we've got the janitor who is responsible for cleaning up the park, so cleaning up the litter, emptying the bins, and also cleaning up the hotels, restaurants and toilets. Here you've got your mechanic, he's responsible for fixing all the rides and the coasters, and even the little vending machines, which I didn't talk to you about, because apparently you could also add in vending machines as well if, for example, that stalls get too overcrowded. So of course your mechanics will fix the rides and they'll do ride inspections and even refurbishments when you click on refurbish ride. Here we've actually got our security guard who's responsible for chasing the guests that are a little bit naughty. And over here we have our vendor as well. He or she will be in charge of the stall. And then over here we've then got a variety of different entertainers. So of course we've got King Coaster himself, who's the game's mascot. And then of course we've got Festive King Coaster, and also lots of other different characters you can include as well. So here we've actually got paths. So at the minute you can actually see a little tab has actually come up saying that we're ready to build a path. So we've got a variety of different paths to choose from. You can change the length of your path, so you can make it long, and you can widen the path as well if you need to. To be honest, I actually like to have it on the full length and the full width, you know, just for guests to walk around. So to do this, we just press the X button, and then of course your path will then be built. And then of course you can then use the joystick to create like little roundabouts, or you can just use it to go different ways. And then of course you've got lots of different settings for your path, so you can have slopes, flattened terrain, you've got tunnels which you can build, you can have supports, curbs, or anything like that. There's loads of different to choose from. Again, these are like your ride queues, so for example if I was to place a queue down, you'll automatically get a I don't know, a staff member who will take the cash. And then of course you can then build your queue lines to how long you ever want, depending on where your ride is located. So we'll just get rid of that path. And then of course finally we'll move on to terrain. So this is used for making hills and lakes and tunnels. So we've got intensity. So if I was to press X, you can see that it will then make like a little hill if we have it on pull. And if we used to switch it over to push, that will then make a hole in the ground. And then of course we could then extend this to make little lakes and ponds. And then the flatten to foundation, well, everything seems to be flat at the moment, but if for example if I was to make that little hill again, and if I wanted to flatten to foundation, it will then flatten down to how it was if you was to click anywhere, and then you can then just flatten it out. And then of course flatten to surface, it's a similar thing. And then of course you've got your painting, so you can choose a different style of paint. You can for example you can use rock and lots of grass and concrete in that. And then of course you've got your water as well, so you can use a different variety of water. So if we were to actually just, you know, just to make a little pond, you could then choose different water, so you can have calm water, rough water, standing water, or dirty water. But to be honest, I actually like to have it on either rough or, well, the first three actually, but I do like the calm water as well as the best. So yeah, we'll just go back to how it was. And then of course we're then going to go into our park management, which is actually on the left hand side, where you actually click on the rectangular button in the middle of your PS controller. And then you can see here we've actually got a lot of different options and categories. So here we've actually got our park options. So here you've actually got the name of your park, opening times, prices, and then of course you can change the name of your park and open or close it whenever you want. So we've got your visitors over here. There's loads of different statistics, from your fastest coaster, your longest coaster, length of all coasters, the months that your park has been in operation, scenery, ride rating. You've also got your finances, from your construction finances and loans and shop and facilities and rides. Everything has loads in here. Your guest happiness, so here you've got your different categories. So you've got happiness, energy, thirst, hunger, toilet and nausea. And then of course you then got your 3 different categories for guests, so adults, teens and families, how much they've actually spent, and of course how long they've actually been in the park for. Again, staff happiness is a similar thing. You can hire your staff and you know, pay them how much ever you want. security. You've got you've got pickpocket victims. You've got vandalizations. You've got security cameras. And that. Notifications, it's mainly like, for example, if you get ride breakdowns or security or anything like that. Attractions and shops, mainly this is where all your rides, your shops and everything else that you put in your park are actually listed. Research and development, as I'm on sandbox mode, you can actually create campaigns to attract more guests to your park. And then of course the graphs will be available when the park actually opens. And then on the right hand side at the bottom we've actually got some other options. So if we press on the square button, you can see we've actually got some arrows, so we can actually press the left arrow on the PS controller, that will undo, and then the right will then redo. And if we was to press the downwards arrow, it will then pause the game, it will pause the park. And then of course if we was to press on the upwards, you could then fast forward the time, your simulation, because of course Planet Coaster is a simulation game. And then if we was to press L1, you can see that the camera will zoom in and out, and if we was to press it again, it'll then it'll be a free look around. And then if we was to press R1, we can then actually change the day and time, so we can actually change it from 10 o'clock and you can have it all the way up till 12 a.m. in the morning, you know, day and night. And then of course you've also got a little torch that you can use as well, which if I can just get it to work. So if I was to change it to 12 a.m, you can see here there's a little torch that will then follow around while you're around this level. And if you want it to be like a simulation, you can then just have it on like that, and you can actually see it will then change from night to day, day to night. And of course, yeah, that is literally it then for this little overview. So what I'll do is I'll show you a little park that I've been working on, and I'll show you some of the rides in action. Right, so here I've actually got a little park that I've actually been building. So you can see here, it's a very, very small little amusement park. To be honest, I actually like to have the building small amusement parks because they're much easier, and plus you can fit a few rides in, because I actually want to fit a bit more theming in. So over here we've got a few little rides I've actually built. So we've got this little balloons ride that's going round. We've got a little twister or scissor, whatever you want to call it, but I think people call these twisters. Got like a little waltzer. There's a little coaster that's going around on the really awesome mountain that I've actually built. And over here we've got a variety of facilities. So we've got some vending machines, you've got a few entertainers, you've got your toilets, you've got a little cars ride which I actually rebuilt. We've got a little dark ride on the bottom of the mountain as well. We've also got a little mini Ferris wheel, dodgems, bumper cars, a little shooting interactive ride, and even some stalls as well. Lots of seating areas, lots of benches where people can sit down and have something to eat, and a couple of hotels around the park along with another coaster as well. So yeah, yeah, it looks really, really good. I'm just testing the rides out at the moment because I always like to test my rides out so that they're safe for my park guests when they actually come later on in this video. So first of all, let's actually have a little look at some ride options. So we're actually going to so let's actually take the Ferris wheel, for example. We'll do that. So we'll go for the big wheel. So here we've actually got the big wheel in action. So you can see here you got the ride waiting, you've got how long it's been open for, the queue time, profits, customers last month, queue scenery, and of course your lifetime guests, how many people have been on it in total. And then at the top here we've got like a little traffic light system. So you've got green, which means open, orange means, well, amber means testing, and then of course red means closed. And then here you can actually change your ticket prices, so you can have them as much as you want. But for example, I actually like to keep the rides very cheap, because of course the cheaper the rides, the more guests that will be willing to queue and go on that particular ride. Over here you've got your test results and also your timing. So of course it tells you the excitement, fear and nausea. And then of course you can customise your rides, you can add music, you can paint the rides, you can change the operator's uniform, you can add in sequences, which means you can extend the ride or, you know, shorten the ride. So we've got advanced settings, so if we click on that, we've actually got how many loads you can do, so you can have it on half load. I'm just going to put it on full load. And then of course you've got your time, so 60 seconds, and then in 2 minutes then the ride will actually begin. You've got your maintenance, so at the top you've actually got your wear and tear, so that's in green, which means the ride's actually working. You can request inspections and refurbishments, and then of course you can then inspect the ride, how long, so probably 30 minutes is probably enough. You got your reliability rating, so high. Next inspection, so that mechanic will then inspect the ride in 11 minutes. Months since last refurbishment, so 144, and then of course the last breakdown as well. And then of course you then got roosters as well. Roasters, I'm not sure how you say that, but yeah, you got something else as well. So that's actually one of the rides. Let's actually have a little look at the coasters, because I think the coasters are a bit similar, but there's a few little different options we can see. So if we actually come to our little coaster just over here, again you've got the ride rating, you've got date, yeah, everything like that. Again you've got your prices, and then of course you've got your testing, which is a bit different to the rides. Again you've got the same 3 categories, and of course you've got your excitement, your fear, your nausea, the speed and the forces. That's your live data. So if this coaster was to go around now, which I'm sure it will do soon, those little bars with the arrows on the bottom will then go up and down depending on the ride. Go to our results, you can actually see you've got the time of the coaster, the actual ride in total, the track length, the max speed, your average speed, the biggest drop, and of course the forces and inversions as well, and scenery rating and the airtime as well. And your heat maps, second, so you can choose a heat map. So this is what they look like. So of course you've got your fear, you've then got your excitement, your nausea, and of course the speed as well. So you can see here with the speed, of course around about 41 miles per hour, the fastest this coaster goes. And then of course there's loads of different other settings as well. So here you've got your coaster, so you can see that's now going around the mountain. So of course if I was to quickly go back into the testing, you can see now that everything is now live. At the minute it will then change, because of course at the minute it's actually going up the lift hill, so 8 miles per hour for the tyres, and then of course it will then get faster when it goes down this little drop. And then you can see here the excitement goes up, and then of course the speed as well. Anyway, let's go back to our settings. So here I've actually got where is it? Of course you can paint the coaster as well, you can change the car type. This was originally a dragon, but I actually changed it to like a whale themed coaster. You can show the name of your coaster as well, you can change the colour of the track, the coaster cars, and of course the ride operator's uniform. You can have music, trigger sequences for your effects, and of course the entrance and exit. For ride operations, this is actually different because of course coasters, of course, so you've got 3 different settings. You've got standard, so the standard, which means the coaster will just do 1 lap. Your block section, which means there's actually multiple trains running at the same time. And then lapping, of course, a single train, which I've actually got here. You can actually lap it round. So for example, I've actually got the train set to 2 laps. So I'm actually, and I think you can actually go up to 3 laps on this one. So yeah, there's 3 laps, which you can do, but I'm actually going to leave it at 2 because I think 2 is a reasonable number of laps. Your friction, of course, I think it's to do with the speed. And then of course you then got your advanced settings as well, and then again you got your maintenance and editing. Then of course you can then save your coaster as a, you can build it on station, you can save it as a blueprint for next time you actually want it to build it again. And then yeah, of course, yeah, that's literally the ride and coaster settings. And then what I'll do is I'll then show you my park guests enjoying the rides, and then I'll show you an on my P.O.V of my little coaster that I've actually built as well. Right, so I'm actually back, and here are all my park guests coming into the park, enjoying the rides and coasters and that. And you can see just how busy the park is, and you can see I've actually made some really nice wide paths. I've actually built the path around the mountain structure, along with a few little rides surrounding it. And then of course we've then got everyone walking around, buying food and going on the rides and going to the toilets and that, sitting on the benches and that. So yeah, there's loads of people here because of course the prices are very, very low, so that's why I actually decided to you know, keep prices as low as possible, because otherwise guests will refuse to go on rides if they're too expensive. And yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just have a little look around to see what everyone's up to. Got a few entertainers around there as well. So yeah, guests will actually come to the stalls when they're actually hungry. So yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of rides. There's about 12 rides I've actually built in this park, and yeah, it's going to be quite good. So I think what we'll do is now, I think we'll have some fun actually. I think we'll, I'll take you on for a few on my P.O.Vs, and I'm also going to show you what the park looks like at night as well, because the lighting packaging on these rides are absolutely amazing. So I think what we'll do is we'll take you on for a few on my P.O.Vs, and then of course I'll do some more in the evening, and then of course I will then wrap up the video. Right, so here I am, I'm now back. I just took you for a nice little POV on the coaster that I just showed you, that I actually built. And of course here we are in the evening. You can see here, this looks absolutely beautiful. You can see, look at all the different lighting packaging on some of the rides. So for example, we've got the little balloon ride just over here with the classic lights on it. The Twister, which has got some really nice flashing LED lights. Got the classic little waltzers just here. And of course we've got the little car ride with the beautiful house in the middle and the gardens, which is looking really nice. And of course the coaster, I've actually added in some little bit of lighting. But yeah, I do like the Ferris wheel though, with the lights on it, you know, different colours and shapes, which you can just see here. And of course we've got all the stalls that are all lit up along with the street lights as well, you know, so everyone can see where they're going. And yeah, this looks really, really nice. I'm so pleased with my little park that I'm actually doing so far. You know, I'm just adding new rides, adding the little coasters in and that. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this little overview video of Planet Coaster Console Edition. Like I said, I did have this on the PC, but unfortunately the PC wasn't very good. It kept lagging all the time, every time I used to build something or use the camera or that. But yeah, PlayStation 4, this one is amazing. It looks so much better, the controls are much easier, and you can actually see what you're actually building. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I might do another POV of the coaster that I just showed you, and then of course I'll then wrap up the video. Right, so that's literally about it done for this Planet Coaster video. So I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of one of the shops. So let's actually just quickly go for the water one. So you can see here you've got your water, you've got your prices. So you've got drink and prices, and then of course if I was to show you one of the food shops, let's just go for one of the hot dogs. And then of course same thing again, you can add lots of different so if you click on the plus, you can actually add in some different flavours. So for example, you can have ketchup, gherkins, mustard, or anything else like that. This goes for the same with other shops as well. So if you click on the plus, that will actually add in some other different extras as well. This goes to all the other shops as well. But yeah, that is literally it, and can I just say thank you very much for watching, because of course Planet Coaster has now returned here on JB Visuals. And coming up, there's actually going to be a little mini series, a little Christmas vintage fun fair, which I'm going to be building again. A few little coasters and rides and that. A few little track rides as well, just similar to what I did last year, but a little bit more different. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next JB Visuals video. Remember, keep on filming and keep on editing. See you all soon. Bye for now.